Welcome to Darlington Driving Lessons. Show me, tell me questions with me, Ken Monkman. When you take your driving test, you will be asked one show me and one tell me question. Tell me questions. You will be asked one of these questions at the start of the test before you set off. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do these checks. You only have to tell the examiner. Tell me how you check the brakes are working before starting a journey. Brakes should not feel spongy or slack. Brakes should be tested as you set off. The vehicle should not pull to one side. Tell me where you would find the information for the recommended tyre pressures for this car and how the tyre pressures should be checked. Check the user's manual for correct information. Check and adjust tyre pressures when the tyres are cold. Use a reliable pressure gauge. Don't forget to check the spare. Remember to refit the valve caps when you're finished. Tell me how you'd make sure the head restraint is correctly adjusted so it provides the best protection in the event of a crash. The head restraint should be adjusted so the rigid part is in line with the top of the ears. Tell me how you check the tyres to ensure they have sufficient tread depth and that their general condition is safe to use on the road. There should be no cuts or bulges on the sidewalls of the tyres. And there should be more than 1.6 millimeters of tread across the central 3/4 of the tyre and around the entire circumference of the tyre. Tell me how you check that the headlights and tail lights are working. You don't need to exit the vehicle. Explain you would turn on the ignition and the light switch. Then you would walk around the vehicle to check the lights were working. As this is a tell me question, you don't need to physically check the lights. Tell me how you'd know if there was a problem with your anti-lock braking system. Warning light would illuminate if there was a fault with the anti-lock braking system. Tell me how you check the direction indicators are working. You don't need to exit the vehicle. Explain you'd turn the hazard warning lights on and then you'd walk around the car to check. As this is a tell me question, there is no need to physically check the lights. Tell me how you check the brake lights are working on this car. Explain how you'd operate the brake pedal, make use of reflections or ask someone to help. In this instance, on the driving test, you would ask the examiner. Tell me how you would check the power assisted steering is working before starting a journey. Use your thumb to apply a gentle pressure on the steering wheel. And then start the engine. As the power steering engages, you will notice the steering wheel move freely. Tell me how you'd switch on the rear fog light and explain when you'd use it. You don't need to exit the vehicle. Turn on the ignition. Turn on the headlights. Push the lever down to turn the fog light on. Check the instruments to see if the warning light's on. Fog lights should be used when visibility is less than 100 meters and should be turned off when visibility improves. Tell me how you'd switch your headlights from dipped to main beam and explain how you'd know main beam was on. Turn on the ignition. Turn on the dipped headlights. Push the indicator arm away from you. The blue main beam indicator light will display. Pull the arm back towards you to turn the main beam off. Open the bonnet and tell me how you would check the engine has sufficient oil. Pull the bonnet release catch towards you. With the left hand, take the weight of the bonnet. Use your right hand to move the catch to the left to release the bonnet. It's normally in the centre of the bonnet. Find the bonnet strut and secure it into place. Remember, this is a tell me question. Don't touch anything as it could be hot. Identify the dipstick. Pull the dipstick out and wipe it. Reinsert the dipstick and leave for a couple of seconds. Remove the dipstick and check that the oil level is between the minimum and the maximum. Replace the dipstick. Should oil be required, it is topped up here. Open the bonnet and tell me how you check that the engine has sufficient engine coolant. Identify the coolant reservoir and check the level is between the minimum and the maximum level. Open the bonnet and tell me how you check that you have a safe level of hydraulic brake fluid. Identify the brake reservoir. Check the level is between the minimum and the maximum. It might be difficult to see. When you're finished, replace the bonnet strut in its place. Bring the bonnet to just above waist height and let the bonnet go to close it.